Alright, so I had a few of you who were asking how exactly do I record high fidelity gameplay footage from gaming consoles, like what you see here, playing down there on the PlayStation, onto the computer right here. Well, we can start off by right here we're playing the PlayStation 1. So these are all the gaming consoles right here, as you can see. If you have a lot of gaming consoles, I'm going to show you exactly how this is all done. But let's start off with the computer first. We're using Elgato, which is the most common gaming recording software. Let's turn this down a little bit. So if you have an Elgato, you can do this. There we go. So let's go down here for a second. I'll explain everything to you guys. This is the Elgato HD60. It's not really new. It's fairly common. Most people have this. This HDMI cable is a monitor output that goes from the Elgato to a flat screen TV, which I have it here, but I'm not using it. This is the input. So this is running into the Elgato. This is where the source is coming from. So right now the PlayStation is coming off of this cable right here. It's a very, very short HDMI cable, like 6 inches. And it's plugging into this box right here. Now this is a 2-port 4K compatible, which I don't care about 4K on this at all. But that is an HDMI bi-directional switch. And what this does, right now it's on port number 1, there's port number 2 right here. That allows me to jump back and forth between everything that's right here. So all this stuff is on port number 1. Now, port number 2 is this stuff right here. So we got a PlayStation 3 and an Xbox One, and in here there is a switch. And yes, that is kind of dusty. I do have to clean that. I've been here, that's really dusty. I don't record this stuff really that common, but yeah. This is port number 2 on that bi-directional switch. This is port number 1 right here. This is where I focus on the most. This is where I do most of my recording. So let's go back over here. You see I found a lot of my Sega Saturn cases, as you can see. So back over here, there's a little button right here in the center. I have everything tied up here. That button switches from 1 to 2. So normally I have that on 1. So 1, this is running in, and then running out, and then running into the Elgato. So this is running in right here. Where's it coming from? This is a decoder, a digital, well actually an analog to digital decoder, converter if you want to call it. This converts the old school gaming signal, the AV composite, to HDMI. See, there's the HDMI cord right there. It's running out of this box into this bi-directional HDMI switch, out of that box into the Elgato right here. Okay, so that may seem crazy, but it's not done yet. This is the AV signal right here. Pick that up a little bit more. This is running into the box. And this box has a little button on it right here. We can switch it back and forth between 50 Hz and 60 Hz. 1080p or 720. I keep it on 720. I think the decoder or the upscale and whatever, I think it looks better at that resolution. So I usually keep everything running at 720, which I can show you right here. This runs at 720p at 60 frames per second for all the games that I record. So that cable, that AV cable, goes from there and goes straight behind here, and I'm going to show you where it goes. Now behind here Let's see if we can get down there. There's a switch. Let's see if we turn down the sound a little bit. Oh my god, what the hell is that? That was brutal. Okay, so there's a video switch right there. And basically that switch is a 4-port splitter. And it's actually not a switch, it's a splitter, that is. And what that does is it allows the signal to hit this TV and that whole setup I have over there all at the same time. So on the back of that splitter there is 1 input and 4 outputs. So only 2 of the outputs are being used currently right now. 1 output's going to the TV, the other output's going over there. So there is an input on here. The input is coming from this box right here. The output of this box, which has just about everything hooked up to it, this is an 8-port switch. Well, I probably have like 10 systems hooked up to this because I figured out a way of doing that. It's pretty crazy. But the output of that is plugging into the input of this. Yeah, so that's how that's going on right now. You see right now, input number 6, PlayStation. Currently playing off of the PlayStation right here. And in that's running from there into there. And that's running from there in multiple different directions. It's going from there to here and there all the way to over there. And when it goes over there, it goes into another box and then it travels through 2 different boxes before it hits the Elgato. And you can see back here I have a workbench power strip, or not power strip, but a bar. And the bar is plugged into, you see down there, another brick that's probably like 2,000 joules, just to give it extra protection. So that's one thing that we have going on there. And see, there's one gaming console right there. It is the PlayStation. That's you can't barely see it. That's the PS2. That's the GameCube. That's hooked up to the Switch. That's hooked up to the Switch. That's hooked up to the Switch. This is hooked up to the VCR. That's hooked up to the VCR. That's not hooked up at all. That's just there for right now. That's hooked up to the Switch. This is interesting. I have the video signal running out of the 32X, but the audio signal running out of here. I feel like the audio is better that way. And I have the Sega Saturn hooked up to the Switch, the NES, and everything right here. Japanese Super Nintendo, Super Famicom, and the Super Nintendo. Everything's hooked up to that switch right there. And that switch also has the VCR hooked up to it. This is currently not hooked up. It's just there for looks. It works perfectly fine. This is hooked up to the VCR, which the VCR sends the signal over to here. And yeah, this is complicated. So that goes from there to the splitter, as you saw there. And that is how high fidelity gameplay is made over here. Now once it gets over here, I have to record it into the Elgato software right here, and then eventually it hits Matrix Vegas or Sony Vegas, whatever you want to call it now. Just to say, bought this on Steam, and once it gets here, I'm going to show you guys what I do here. This is edited to fit the proper aspect ratio, 4:3. When it's recorded, it's actually in 16:9 ratio, and it's a little distorted like that. And that's definitely not the way high fidelity gameplay looks for older games. So it's edited, and it's properly proportioned in the right aspect ratio. And the audio throughout all this is tuned up so that it sounds the best that it can possibly sound. You can see right here I'm doing toggle number 1 for the PlayStation, which eventually you'll see this as I'm making videos per day. Each video will be released, so I'm not going to release a bunch at once, but that's how high fidelity gameplay is made. Just so you guys have an idea. And since I'm here, let me show you guys. I think I have a few more Nintendo 64 games that I acquired. I don't think I have showed you guys this yet. It's a Japanese Olympic game. We have this game right here. I'm not sure what that is. We're going to check that out. Got a few racing games. Got a wrestling game right here. I'm going to be checking that out. Mario Party. Let's see if we can turn the brightness down here. Mario Party 3. Mario Party 2. Grand Prix. F-Zero X, which I know one of you guys mentioned F-Zero, and I pretty much got it because of that reasoning. Super Smash Brothers, I think you guys seen that before, and of course we got, yeah, all that stuff I showed off before, but there's a few new ones in there I have not showed you guys, and eventually I'm going to show you guys this right here. It's a really weird PlayStation. Check this out. It has that thing on the back. What the hell is that? What is this? And it is busted on the side right there, but this is an interesting find. I'm going to be checking that out eventually. Have you ever seen a PlayStation that looks like this before? If you have, let me know down below. Let me know what this is. That's a weird looking PlayStation. So anyways, just to answer your question of how all this stuff is done, yeah, it's done through switches and splitters and all kinds of stuff like that. So, yeah, just one more time I'm going to show you guys real quick. Alright, so the Elgato's right there. For me, I have a bi-directional splitter. You don't really need that. So let's say if you want to just record some old school stuff, the only thing you need is that box. You can run the HDMI from there into there. So out into the input on the Elgato. Then you run the out of whatever gaming console you have into this box right here. And once you get into this box right here, this box is basically making all the magic happen right here. This you can get off eBay. The only thing you have to type in is AV to HDMI upscaler. It's basically a cheap decoder box, nothing really crazy. It decodes analog to digital, and it hits the Elgato right there. Now, one thing to keep in mind with the Elgato, which I had this problem earlier, some of the Windows 10 updates are messing with the Elgato software, I guess, and it's pissing me off. So there's some settings you have to make sure that you definitely have the correct settings in Windows 10 in order for your Elgato to work or function properly. And yeah, everything is a little bit of a mess right now because I've been recording stuff, but yeah, that's that. That's how I record high fidelity gameplay, and it's definitely pretty high quality stuff. 60 frames per second, accurate colors. Nothing's been modded. It's using the original composite cables. It's the best quality image that you're going to get out of your composite cables, and the audio is awesome. So don't forget to check out some more episodes of high fidelity gameplay Monday through Thursday, and on Fridays you're going to have Memory Lane episodes. So stay tuned for Memory Lane on Fridays. And look at all these potential high fidelity gameplay episodes coming. So look at this. Eventually I'm going to be recording all this stuff. I can't wait to get down to that. The Atari 2600. Look at that.